Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks very much, KG. Can I call you KG? Okay, KG, we appreciate the intro there, and welcome to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. As you know, it's powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. Bob Pompeani and Tim Benz with you tonight as we talk about some of the issues that linger from yesterday. And I want to start with overtime because, Tim, we saw a couple of overtime games in the NFL playoffs. We hadn't seen one in a wild card weekend since Tim Tebow posterized the Steeler defense back in that crazy finish in Denver, and yet two of them yesterday, which brings up a question that is often asked after these kinds of games. What about the overtime rule in football? Me personally, I don't like it, never have. I think both teams should get a possession regardless of what happens on the first possession with the first team that scores. What do you think? Do you like it?
When does it cease being fair, in your opinion? The question is, when does it cease being fair? Like, for instance, is 1-1 fair? Obviously, yes, it is. But what if it goes to 2-1? And within a 10-minute overtime, at least in the regular season, well, then at that point, a regular season, I think, should be equitable to the postseason because there's only 17 games. Those Week 17 games sometimes are just as important as the playoff games to get in or not. Ask the Steelers in the past couple of seasons. If you get to a 10-minute overtime, it's highly unlikely you're going to get 4 possessions. So is it any more or less fair if one team gets 2 possessions and the other team gets 1?
I say, regardless, each should have one. Whatever happens after that is after that.
Then go to the college rule.
You don't have to do that.
Why not?
Because I don't like the college rule for the professional.
Why?
Because I don't. I think
What's
it's
to not
better.
like about it?
Just because I don't like it. I think it's too gimmicky, and it could lead to scores of 62 to 59, which I don't like. What I do like, one possession each. Why not? Regardless. Like, for example, when Minnesota goes and scores, right? Beautiful play by Cousins and a beautiful catch by Thielen. They then score on a controversial offensive pass interference that wasn't called, which is a story for another day. But why shouldn't Drew Brees get the opportunity to score? He knows now the bar is very high. You got to score a touchdown. Nothing else matters.
That's fine.
That puts pressure on them.
Okay, that's fine. Now, you want to make different rules for the playoffs, or do you want
to?
No,
I want it all year. Same way.
The whole year.
Yep.
Okay, so then Drew Brees goes down and scores, and now we're going to get into extremely long games, and you are going to get high scores. And I know this.
Not necessarily.
Not
like college.
Not like the college rule should not be started from the 30 or the 35, the 25.
25, yeah.
They do for college. They should do it I think, at the 50-yard line if they do it, because it's so easy to make a field goal in the National Football League. I think you should start at the 50 if you do it. But you can't have deflated scores. You can't have real football and have it be entirely equitable all at once. You can't.
I just say give them each a chance, and whatever happens after that happens.
Okay, so if it goes 15-minute overtime, and Cousins scores, Brees scores, Cousins gets a second possession.
Right. Your defense then has to stop him to get it back.
Even though they've got 2 and just a field goal
doesn't matter.
That's still not fair, though.
I don't want it to be fair.
That's one team getting.
The only thing I want is each team to have one.
That's one team getting 8 at-bats versus 9.
You're looking at it too much in the fair mode. I don't care. Once each team has a possession, whatever happens after that then happens, and you live with the result. If that means your defense, if New Orleans has to stop Cousins a second time, then stop him.
I guess I'm a little bit less passionate about changing it because you're always going to run into a problem like that no matter how far you parse it down.
Probably.
So I hear what you're saying. And if you were the commissioner and you made that rule, I wouldn't fight it. But then again, I'm not all that put off by what happened yesterday either. I was put off for a while when it became so easy to kick field goals that you won the coin toss and you had 3 plays and all.
And that's what's happened now. You win the coin toss as Minnesota did yesterday. They win the game. It shouldn't come down to win a coin toss to win the game. And in that case, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, but it's still not equitable. You know that, right? It's still not equitable.
If you each get one possession, it is equitable. What happens after the first possession each then decides the game.
Especially with the kickoff rules such as they are, it's easy then to get the touchback, start at the 25, get a couple first downs, indoors in a dome, kick a field goal. Now
your defense has to stop them. It's as simple as that. Anyway, that's one thing we'd like to get your opinions on. So call us at 412-575-2600 or tweet at KDPomp at Tim Benz PGH. The other thing, Seth Rohrbaugh of the Trib, who does an outstanding job covering hockey, he had a conversation with Jim Rutherford. I think we all know that Jim Rutherford is not one to sit there and not do anything when he has a need. And he has a need right now in terms of a top-line scorer for Sidney Crosby. Jay Kensel's out, likely out for the year. Rutherford thought, as I did, that was going to be a more serious injury. He thought it could be career-ending potentially based on how he went into the boards. That did not happen. Had the surgery, he's fine, but he won't be back. So what do? It seems like he's already started that process, but he's not willing to make a deal just yet.
No, it seems like he wants to wait for a couple of reasons. The first of which is he wants to see how guys play with Sidney Crosby when he comes back and how desperate he has to be to get that additional player onto this roster. That's one thing. Secondly, it seems to me like he doesn't want to rush the market. He wants the market to come to him. He said so to Seth. Insofar as people saw the Gensel injury, they're coming to him and saying, here, take this guy, take that guy, for picks that are too high probably, and for guys that Rutherford evaluates as third and fourth liners, not first and second liners. The issue becomes, Bob, do you wait so long that now another team
gets involved
because their guy gets hurt? Now, the flip to that is maybe a team falls out of the playoff race that you think then could give you a player that otherwise might not be on your radar at this point. That's possible. But I know this. They've got 3 games coming up this week. 3 games this week alone.
All good ones.
Against Western Conference teams that are all currently in the playoff mix. That's big. And before January the 21st, they're going to cram in 8 games between now and January 21st when they have that long break. That's a lot of points to the table against some pretty difficult teams. And it might be nice to have somebody and get as many games possible with Crosby if you're inserting him on that line. And Crosby, as we know, when guys have come here, it's not instantaneous.
No, it takes some time.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right, we got to take a break. Your calls are coming up next. You're watching the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.